What's good to the congregation and beyond? It's your boy Fen checking in with our first Madden 24 MUT strategy video of the year, and it's all about the competitive pass that just dropped a little bit earlier today in-game. Now, for the first time ever, the first 1,000 Madden players to reach the in-game player rewards at levels 22 and then 48 AJ Terrell and George Pickens are going to be awarded with LTD versions of those players that have an extra ability bucket. I think they're auctionable, and everyone's going to be after them. There's only a couple spots at which you actually need to be ready to race for them, though. Over the course of these next few weeks, we did a little bit of basic arithmetic in the channel today, live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Fenler, to figure out when you had to be ready to rock and take some of the guesswork out. Hope you find it helpful. I'll try to make it quick. So if we're taking it all the way from the top, here's where to find your competitive pass and the specific points that your objectives are going to award you. If you scroll over to live events, you can use L2 to cycle between your field passes, and as of today, competitive will be one of your options. If you head into objectives, you'll see your tabs broken out between daily, MUT champs, solo battles, head-to-head seasons, and a milestone tab that's going to keep track of stats between all of those modes. The rewards is what we came for. If you go to this tab and scroll all the way over to level 22, you'll see the 86 overall AJ Terrell player reward item. I'm going to show you a notepad with some numbers on it in a second. The TLDR on that is going to be we can't even get AJ Terrell until week 2. All you can do for now is make sure you don't miss any daily objectives and you hit all of your weeklies and are working on your milestones in the meantime. To be really in the mix for AJ Terrell, your milestone tab is indeed going to need to be finished. We don't need to worry about this just yet, but way off in the distance in a few weeks, I'll also break out, just so you know when to expect it, when the very same thing is going to happen with, there he is, 89 overall George Pickens award in the same situation. The first 1,000 players only to achieve level 48 are going to wind up with the LTD version of George Pickens. Let's start from the top at where you need to be ready for AJ Terrell. In what will likely be not the most exciting bit of a MUT video that you've ever watched, I just broke out the specifics on the numbers that I'm using. What we found from talking about it in the chat is that not only are objectives differing from account to account, but there is a very slight difference in total weekly points available. It's not huge. We found it was the head-to-head tab specifically, and we were finding anywhere between 49 on the low end and 55 points available from that tab on the high end. I had 51 available for the first week. So we kind of extrapolated based on you doing all of your dailies, not missing any days there, having your milestones done, being able to hit all your weekly buckets, where that would put you in relation to the first player reward item for this top 1,000 deal, AJ Terrell. I can get 12 points from my dailies. I can get 258 from this week's MUT Champs tab, 108 from the solo battles, 51 from head-to-head, and a total of 325 for milestones over the whole season. If you are indeed able to accomplish all of that, after week 1, you'll be at level 17 with just a little bit of work left to do before you could make a run at that first AJ Terrell limited player item. And here's what that'll look like. After a full week 1 of not missing anything, you will have 302-ish points left before that AJ Terrell player item level at 22. That's going to be a lot of work left to do. It'll be, for me, my entire head-to-head and MUT Champs tab. I don't know how quickly you're going to be able to do that. I think it's going to make for some great content. These guys super locking in and grinding it for a day straight, such like this. The takeaway is if you do every single thing you possibly can do over week 1, don't miss any dailies, and you finish your milestones as well, when week 2 drops, you'll be in striking distance. You will still need every bit of 300 points to be among the first 1,000, but the race is not on until week 2 objectives drop, and I think the race will really only be between people who have done every single thing they possibly could have done up to that point to test who the real MUT grinders are. It winds up a pretty similar situation a little bit further down the road for the George Pickens card. The Pickens card, though, is going to be a little bit sweatier. So I mathed this out such that I didn't miss any dailies, no weekly objectives. I didn't take a trip. I didn't go outside for these 5 weeks. And if you do every single solitary thing you possibly can do, if the math and the points stay the same as they do this week, which is a big assumption, we would finish with my point totals week 5 at 2,829 points. 48. Level 48, and thus the George Pickens award, it happens at 2791 specifically. So what, a swing of 40 points in terms of dailies, if you're talking 12 points a day, 3 days where you missed in 5 weeks? Otherwise, you're going to need more help than that. You're going to need that 6th week to drop. So we're really going to find out who those muck grinders are come week 5, where it's seeming to me like they have planned to be the George Pickens race, just the same way week 2 is the race for AJ Terrell. Week 5, again, only among the people who have set themselves all the way up is going to be the George Pickens race, and holy mackerel, I think that one's going to be sweaty. And again, if y'all want to check the math for yourselves to make absolutely sure there's not a huge variance in the numbers that you have available for your objectives, this is the tab to do so. You can scroll through. So I haven't touched any of my MUT Champs objectives yet. In the bottom right corner of the screen there, 26 comp XP available for this tab. And as you scroll, some 26, some 28 here, some as many as 32. MUT Champs tab, your most valuable. Head-to-head seasons, your least, and everyone's going to need to be playing solo battles. Just make sure you have eyeballs on where these milestones are, because we're assuming that you completed this entire list to be in the mix for AJ Terrell or George Pickens down the road, so those are absolute must-haves. I'm sure you probably didn't expect to spend any time at a notepad over the course of this MUT video, but here we are. Hopefully you found it informative, cuts a little bit of guesswork and work out for you. If I lost you anywhere along the way, the takeaway is just that do everything in week 1, get all the objectives you possibly can do done, and you will be in the race for the limited AJ Terrell item come week 2. George Pickens, you will need to put together 5 near perfect weeks of Madden objectives to be in the mix there, but that does not happen until week 5, and there's no way to fast forward the thing. Just gonna need to wait for more weekly objectives to drop. I hope you found the video helpful, y'all. I can't wait to see you in the next one, man. Peace.